What's up, guys? You're welcome to the Clarion right here on YouTube. I am Kwam Wilson and I'll be your host. This channel is dedicated to all of those out there who are taking their first strides at graphic design and Photoshop. Trust me, I understand all the frustrations you're going through, considering the fact that I myself started getting serious with Photoshop about 6 months or a little over 6 months ago, and I am in the best position to take you through this journey. That said and done, let's grow together. Welcome back, guys. So in this tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to use the select color range workspace to select your subjects. Alright, so let's open up Photoshop. I have mine opened up already. Then I'll go and then import my image into Photoshop by dragging and dropping it into it, just like so. Alright, so first off, you need to make sure that you're working in the same workspace as mine. So head on up to Windows, go to Workspace, and then select Essentials. You may find out that you are working in the Essentials workspace, but then things may not be exactly as mine appears. So just go back to Windows, go to Workspace, and then select Reset Essentials, and you should be fine. Now we're going to duplicate our background layer because we want to work non-destructively. So we'll drag it down here onto the plus icon right here to duplicate it. You can also just hit Ctrl J or Command J on the Mac. Command J on the Mac, sorry. And now you have a duplicated layer. Now go on ahead to select color range. So in this select color range workspace, you'll notice that there's fuzziness. Make sure it's all the way down to 0. Make sure invert is not checked. Make sure localize color clusters is also not checked. Also ensure that your selection preview is set to none. Alright, now the color range workspace allows us to select images based on certain parameters. You could do it based on colors. That is all the reds. You may select all the reds in a particular image because you want to apply maybe a hue saturation layer on top, adjustment layer on top to change it to a different color. Maybe you want to change the brightness, contrast, or you just want to apply a certain solid color to it. Or you may just want to put certain kind of colors in the highlights, in the midtones, or the shadows. But for this particular tutorial, we're just going to stick with sampled colors because we want to separate our shoe from the background. So our shoe is the foreground and the white is the background. So if you can look over here, there's a certain window, small window within the select color range workspace, and this one shows a white background and our shoe over here, which is now covered in black. Basically, this is because when it comes to selections and layer masks, anything in black is concealed or not selected, and everything in white is selected. So say it with me: black conceals, white reveals. Alright, so I think that's a rhyme that will stick. Now we move on ahead to our eyedropper tool, the one right here without the plus sign. Then you click on any part of your image, especially the part of the image you want to sample. So the eyedropper tool samples colors. That's the sole work of the eyedropper tool. It samples colors. So we sample this color right here, and that's white. So we're telling Photoshop we want the white color, we want this color over here. Then we'll now come over here again and then select the eyedropper tool with the plus next to it, because we want to add similar colors to our initial selection. So just using this as a guide, using this particular window here, this particular box here as a guide, just tap on the areas where you want to be in your selection, just like so. Be meticulous about it. Be meticulous about it. You can click and drag. All right, don't be worried about the parts of the shoe that are white. We'll take care of them by going here with the minus eyedropper tool and then dragging a little over the shoe. All right. So I'm just going to keep at this, adding these edges to the selection. All right, then we subtract them from the shoe. Then now you need to, when you're done with all of this, you need to adjust your fuzziness. So now it's time for us to see things better, to visualize things much better. So we'll just go over to the selection preview and set it to grayscale. Basically what grayscale does is that it shows you a bigger form of what you see right here in this window. All right, so we'll just need to adjust our fuzziness. The more you increase the fuzziness, the greater the parts that are added to the selection, or the things you want to be in the selection. So just like this. Oh, I messed it up. I'll just speed this up so that you don't have to watch me doing all of this. Alright guys, so now I've been able to make a pretty decent selection. The one thing you have to know about selections is that they may not always be perfect, especially for the ones that are done for you by the application itself, like the select color range, the select subjects, all of them. They may not be the most perfect ones, but they give you a foundation of which you can work. So you can go on and then select invert, so that this thing, the shoe right here, which is currently not selected, will now be selected, just like this. Or you can totally skip this step, go to OK, and then, while bearing in mind that at the moment it's our background, which is the white part of this image that's selected, you just hit Ctrl+Shift+I or Command+Shift+I on the Mac to invert your selection. Then from there, I want you to just zoom in on the image. You'll find out that there are certain imperfections with the image, so you need to switch over to the quick selection tool on the left, which is this one right here. Select this tool, and then what this tool does is helps you, as the name suggests, is quite intuitive. Quick selections. So you use this tool for quick selections. So here's the trick: to add to the selection, you need to hold down Shift. To subtract from the selection, you need to hold down Alt. But in this case, we want to select the shoe, so we're just going to hold down Shift, because we want to add these parts which are currently out of the selection to the shoe. Otherwise, when we are done with our selection, we may see some white speaking through. All right, so let's go ahead and then click and drag over these areas to add them to the selection. All right, so anytime you are zoomed in on any image, you can just hold down the space bar, which switches to the hand tool without having to go to the toolbar. Then you can just click and drag to pan over the screen, to keep panning over the screen. So remember, our Shift key held down, then we click and drag over our image. click and drag over an image. So right here you can see that I've actually selected more than I ought to, so we just hold down Alt, then we work it back into place beautifully, just like this, just like this. All right, just like this. Okay, so this works. It's not the most perfect one, but you should definitely take your time when you are working on your own projects. Make sure you perfect this craft. All right, so that said, we want to fit our artboard to screen. Just go on ahead and then press Ctrl+0. Ctrl+0. Make sure your number lock is turned on your keyboard. That's if you are using the number lock side, the numeric keypad. All right, so then we go on ahead down here and we click on this layer mask icon right here at the bottom here to select our shoe. And hey, you're now saying, wow, I thought we made a selection and you told me everything in black is concealed, everything is white is revealed, so there's no change. Yes, there's a change, but basically we have another layer, we have a background layer beneath this selection, so the transparency is not showing through. So go on ahead and then turn this visibility off. Then now you can see that we have a pretty decent selection. So now we have to refine this selection. Alright guys, so this is how to make selections with the select color range workspace. In the next video we are going to look at how to refine our mask a little bit more to give it a more polished look by taking it into the select and mask workspace. And now if this video was really helpful, make sure you leave a like and subscribe to this channel. Until next time, keep creating.